absolutely fierce competitor. This is going to be a great one.
I'm really excited to see it. We're about to kick it underway here, and we're off.
Nice low stance from both ladies.
Very low, even so low as to put a hand on the mat.
Interesting to see a double guard pull here. Andressa Cintra has a great top and bottom game, but definitely known for her top pressure. Absolutely smashes through people's guard. Probably thankful to the fact that her husband, Lucas Valench, has the impassable guard, right? Gets a lot of practice. And in on a tight footlock here on the right-hand side.
Right off the bat, squeezing this foot.
Big extension here. You can see the bend in Thamara's foot. Thamara has to be careful how much she chooses to defend here because she will give up the advantage if there's clear defense.
Only the left hand is preventing this footlock from being cranked any further. That's a very dangerous spot, depending on how tight this footlock actually is. Some competitors just have that rubber foot, but it's impossible for anybody but Thamara to know that is getting arched.
Especially the ladies definitely have some flexible feet. One thing, side note about Thamara, is she always has both of her feet taped up, so she definitely has some ankle stuff that's relevant. But here she returns looking for a toe hold, but it might be too late because this is a big shootout here from Andressa. Heavy pressure coming in as she goes belly down with her hips. But Thamara able to get something going here, at least enough to force Andressa to release the footlock and start to defend, but Thamara may open up her back in the process.
Got a footlock shootout here to start the match. Just a minute and 30 down, and already a couple deep submissions thrown.
And as Andressa comes up, she had an advantage for the ankle lock, and now there was a sweep awarded, but it was taken back by the side judges, and she was given an advantage instead. So 2 advantages to 0 is Andressa Cintra. Both athletes looking over, very confused. Yeah, both athletes just checking to see what is actually going on and what the score is actually going to be.
The look on Thamara Ferreira's face was like, excuse me?
Yeah. So we do have 2 advantages to 1. Andressa leading the charge here. Just under 8 minutes left in this middleweight finals match. Big outside rotation from Thamara Ferreira here, trying to get that 50-50 sweep, but Andressa was able to turn her left knee back in and get a little bit of an internal rotation so that she's able to stay on top.
Locked in the 50-50 position, really good position for Cintra, because getting swept back, getting swept again, it's still going to be 2-2. The score is still going to be tied, and she is up by 1 advantage. It's very difficult to score an advantage from this position, especially since you cannot get an advantage from a 50-50 sweep unless you unlock the 50-50.
Right, right. Nice collar control too by Cintra, and it'll be interesting to see if Thamara opts to kind of open up that right leg and start to insert that far butterfly style hook to look for the back. We've seen a lot of people in 50-50 today using what would be Tamara's right arm to reach for that far pant grip, kind of pull the foot in. And what that does is it doesn't allow Cintra to stay square with Thamara if she were to reach for that foot. But instead she starts to reach for possibly the pants on the back. Switches back to the sleeve. Definitely not in too much of a hurry, just maybe feeling out what Cintra's goals are here, what she's going to start to react with. And does get a nice spider grip here with her right foot, though. It gives her a lot of power to extend to the right, but not enough to come up for the sweep because Andressa can use her elbow, her left elbow, as a post and come right back up into a more classic spider guard position.
And that could have been something that Thamara wanted as well, you know, to open up the game into, I mean, she's got 5 minutes and 50 seconds left. We're just nearing the midway point of the match. It's going to be good for her, throwing up a...
Big triangle shot from Thamara, but beautiful posture by Cintra avoiding that lockup. Back into a lasso spider here. So Thamara with a lasso on the left side. And from here, it's always a battle. The person on top, whether they want to stand straight up or they want to stay down on like one knee or in this squatted position, because the spider lasso, it's very, very easy to off-balance your opponent. But you can also shoot up triangles and omoplatas. Thamara has amazing omoplatas and triangles from the lasso, which we might get to see here. Looks like she's trying to shoot some off.
One interesting thing to note about the double sleeve with the lasso as well is in order to throw up effective submissions, she may have to let go of one of her sleeves. And in this situation, given that she has the lasso on her left leg, she might have to let go of her right hand. And I wonder if Cintra is looking out for that.
Yeah, Cintra's doing a good job, though, of keeping her right elbow closed and keeping a good grip on the collar. And because she's able to do that, Thamara's not really able to open her left knee and tilt Cintra to the left side of Thamara's body. Yeah, that right elbow of Cintra staying closed is really going to be the key here to not getting tilted to her right and knocked over.
It's also a precarious spot for Cintra because she's only up by 1 advantage. Any near sweep is going to even out the score.
Right. Yeah, she's definitely aware of that. Cintra is the kind of passer, once she starts getting past some of those, big spider sweep attempt from Thamara, but now Andressa, she is to the bottom, but she's back in a 50-50 again.
Very intelligent. As we were saying, as many of the matches before, the ability to, in the middle of a sweep,
adjust in the air,
adjust in the air and contort themselves back into a safe position. This is a very smart move by Cintra to be able to put herself in a position where maybe she can score again if she needs. She's still up by an advantage.
Yeah, she's already passed that lapel through as well, so even if she does unlock her left leg, she's still nice and secure as we see her without lapel. Makes it very hard for Thamara to either extract her leg or bring her right leg over the head and back down to the right side in a leg drag position. That lapel kind of stops a lot of that movement.
And you see Thamara initially reaching under so that she can mitigate a lot of, how she's jamming the right foot of Cintra. Cintra's going to want to slam the inside of her leg against the knee of Thamara to get her off balance and force her back to her favorable side.
Right.
And by underhooking the leg, she's preventing the knee from actually forming any leverage that way. And just as I say that, she loses it.
It's a little bit more momentum here, yep, to the left, but Thamara really driving all of her weight forward towards her head, which is going to alleviate the sweep pressure. Or Andressa wants to take her back to her butt. A lot of big pendulum motion here. Instead of going out for the sweep, she's coming over the top of the leg. And back again to the left. 2:42 left. If Andressa does get a sweep here, she will be winning by an advantage.
And this is such an interesting spot to be in. It's burning so much time off the clock.
Yes.
It almost still feels like a tie because Ferreira gets swept or Cintra gets a favorable position out of it as well.
Ooh, big sweep coming here from Andressa Cintra, but can she take her down in the center of the mat? She needs to keep her in the middle here to score that 2 points. But a big crank, big knee bar crank from Thamara, but the knee's not quite in the center line. And if Andressa does come up here, she's still going to get her 2 points.
Barely gets out of there.
Thamara knows, though. Thamara's still coming up on top. This is not a 2 secured.
She's pulling the arm to secure the sweep.
But there will be an advantage scored here from Thamara on the knee, so this will make the score even. Going out of bounds with a big back take.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, and a big seatbelt grip here from Andressa, but they most likely were going to restart them standing. When they go out of bounds with turtle scrambles, most of the time they restart standing, which is not good news for Andressa Cintra after all that work to come to the top position with the seatbelt grip. But we'll see what they do here in the center.
Beautiful knee bar attack to offset that. That knee bar was so clutch because it put her in a position where she can't get the points unless she escapes the position.
Wow, they will restart on the ground. That is very interesting. I would say it depends on the referee how they would call that. But now we're going to see a penalty.
They're saying that she fled
fleeing.
Fled the mat.
So a penalty for Thamara for fleeing, which will award Andressa 2 points, which is going to actually put Andressa ahead now because of that penalty.
Oh, this is
one hook
huge.
in. Wow,
that changes everything.
Big hip pressure in from Andressa, though. One thing I love about Andressa's back take pressure is she doesn't necessarily force the roll. She stays on top and hips in and bridges and really makes you miserable underneath there. Beautiful pressure, and not quite at the 4-point mark yet, but very, very much getting close. Unless Thamara can turn and face her, which she will.
In my eyes, though, this is still a favorable position. She just got another advantage.
Yes.
She's up by a penalty, so even if Thamara almost makes a point position happen.
And the advantage, she's got another advantage.
locked in closed guard with 1 minute left. Will Thamara Ferreira be able to escape and possibly put some points on the board, some concrete points on the board?
Yeah, at this point, she would need more than an advantage. So she needs a pass, she needs a back take, a submission, of course.
Oh, here we go.
Big sweep attempt from Andressa. Again, kind of splitting the legs of Thamara. And even if she doesn't get the sweep, she's able to hold her here so that Thamara cannot stand up and start to open the guard. And again, she might knock her down. Good arm control here on the sleeve, but Thamara really fighting to push that knee open with the left hand. And only 30 seconds left. Andressa switches to the other leg, knocks Thamara down again, really just preventing her from standing up and getting any movement here, which is a very smart strategy on Andressa's part.
That muscle sweep is doing such good work for Cintra, because she's able to potentially get him out here right at the end of the match.
10 seconds remaining. Andressa is holding a 1 advantage lead. And this will be the returning world champion coming back for another title, her second world title at the black belt ranking. Andressa Cintra of Gracie Barra here with a big, big win against the talented Thamara Ferreira. You see Lucas Valenche in the back, husband of Andressa Cintra. so excited.
Find someone that gets as excited for you as Lucas Valenche.
That's right. Andressa very, very emotional here. And a beautiful showing is for Thamara Ferreira's first Black Belt World Championship as well. Tight match with the champion, Andressa. Big, big emotion from everybody in the crowd as Andressa clinches her second world title.
And as you said, Thamara Ferreira has nothing to be ashamed of. It's
incredible
unreal
showing
that she is doing this well. And if this is an indication of
her
even
career,
it's
yeah.
only, I imagine it's only the tip of the iceberg is what we're going to see out of her career. So
absolutely.
2021 female middleweight champion is Andressa Cintra, representing Gracie
Amazing
Barra.
match there. A lot of tenacity in all of those positions. I'm sure we're going to see some replays of the highlights here in just a moment.
yeah, so here we are, like you said, the possibility of a triangle thrown up early in the match by Thamara Ferreira. Here we see what looks to be the start of a come-up sweep that Cintra was working earlier in the match.
Yeah, she
That
did
ended up in this amazing.
insane transition by Thamara. Just the ability to transition to that in the middle of being swept just shows us so much. Big moment in the match there.
Your two-time world champion.
And here we go to the podium. We're going to check out our medalists here.